Yes, Rose, we can hear you. I know there's been a lot that has transpired since we were asking you to make your comments, and I certainly want to give you the opportunity to contribute within the context of all that you've heard shared tonight.
Um, so many things were coming to mind or have been coming to mind. Um, Yesterday, as we were driving around, I noticed one school, two schools actually, on the floodlight, not flood, on the lights, still painting. Two primary schools still painting. And that would have been around 6:30
Mm.
And I said, this shouldn't be. And I remember jokingly saying, children will be getting paint on their new uniforms tomorrow. And then I went up by St. Luke's, Brighton. And that is the school where the chief education officer had visited with the principal.
That's where my mother was principal.
St. Luke's, Brighton.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
My mother was a
next to St.
principal there.
Luke's Parish, St. Luke's Church,
But before they changed
Anglican
over
Church.
there, before they went over there, the school used to be back up, further back up the hill, where I think there's a facility now for
Yes,
training mechanics and so on. It was back up the hill then. Go ahead.
and from the outside, I mean, it was welcoming, nice, canary yellow and
Yes,
green
yes.
paint. It was clean. It would be a place where I would want to enter this morning. But I said to myself, the same way they could give nice Barbara Green rose at the for the Calvary Festive Village on property that the government has not bought yet, and they're negotiating a sale or price for that they could have done the parking area that is across the road from the school and make it nice and good. I mean, it's not 4 acres, isn't all that long Barbara Green track. But they seem to do things and not complete. They seem not to be proper project management. But St. Luke's, Brighton was really well um, looked good from the outside. Now, a question I may put to Glenn, is it only the Minister of Education who is responsible for for the schools in terms of its readiness, or shouldn't the MP of that constituency go through the constituency to see the state of the schools in his constituency, bearing in mind that students from his constituency will be attending that school? Because I would like to think that, say, the MP for St. George North would have visited the schools in St. George North, which would be St. Jude's, which would be um, St. George Secondary, St. George Primary, that would visit those schools and give a tick off and say, well, it's ready. Or is it just the Minister of Education who has that extensive load? Or could it be delegated also to the sitting MP as part of his? or her responsibility.
Yeah, Rose, you go ahead because you're the
I,
person
I
who
hope I
asked the
had, I
question.
hope I made sense to you, Rose.
I I think that where leadership lacks, where we look for it to come from, that society should have a voice. And I am saying what has happened to PTAs. We are, what is the PTA representation then at is Wesley Hall? The PTA should be a strong voice representing parents and children. And we are hearing individual parents, but where are the voices? Where are the teachers themselves? And I think too, we're hearing, yes, in all fairness, the children are, and the parents have been disrespected. But in many ways, I am seeing disrespect tossed to the teachers. The lateness in which things
Are
have
done.
been done and
Yes.
are being done. Back to this whole program in the primary school, the additional subject on the timetable. And this was sent out by circular on the 29th of August for the principal to address it and make changes to the timetable. And when I studied the 1982 Act, timetabling is not, if I read it correctly, is not mandate. Timetabling is not a task or responsibility or role of the Ministry of Education. It's the role of the principal, who in some cases may delegate it if at a secondary school to his or her deputy principal, and at a primary school to the senior teacher. But I know at primary school, we would sit and we would work it out ourselves, and the class teacher and take it to the principal, who would make adjustments, who would work through it with us, and then there would be a master timetable, which if there's someone from the ministry who comes could see the master timetable for that plan. And when I heard that this was mandated by the ministry, I am, I, um, it suggested to me that the autonomy that the principal of the primary school used to have or may have had, that is now kind of being controlled, and already the curriculum and the timetable is overloaded. There is so much to be done within a school day, and I think that they have not taken into consideration. I hope that there was collaboration. I hope that there was discussion amongst the teachers about this initiative and the demands that would be made on them.
I
And
want
I don't get the impression that it has
to
happened.
happen.
If
I,
you look, it is not clear if in that press release the CEO is talking about, and Glenn, yes, this program is is done in the US of A. It's a program that has been done internationally a model of it was done based on the press release, done in Jamaica, targeting students who are dyslexic and targeting students with attention deficit disorder.
Disorder.
I am not clear from the press release. Glenn, you could read it. You are a PR person. You are a journalist. Once a journalist, always a journalist. Like once a teacher, always a teacher. Once a preacher, always a preacher. If you read that press release, Glenn and Pastor Ferdy, it's not clear that program that they are offering in the schools and making mandatory.
But I
So
want
I
to ask.
am seeing that I am seeing a level of um, neglect. I don't want to say disrespect, but a level of not engaging. I'm speaking euphemistically. A level of not engaging the stakeholders. This too should be, I do not think that any right thinking Barbadian like ourselves here would knock a program that seeks to enhance and seeks to improve um, reading levels or any educational attainment in Barbados, but how it is done, how it is being done, and these knee jerk responses.
Let Rose go first, as is customary for us gentlemen, to let the lady go
Oh,
first.
thanks for reminding me.
Rose, your closing comments for tonight. You're muted. Okay,
You
great.
hear me?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes, please. Um, you asked a question earlier, Pastor Purdy, about declining THC results regionally. And if a study has been undertaken, I'm not aware of it, although I'm hearing in other countries, territories such as Guyana and Antigua, where you are getting, and Belize, where you get students who say 10 and 15 and 16 CHCs and get them back at ones and twos, but we don't hear that here in Barbados. And maybe that could be an undertaking of CHC or or CDB, those two regional organizations. CHC who regulate and give oversight to the exam, and CDB who fund the education sector in the various territories. They should conduct a study to account for the resources that are put in, or CARICOM can undertake a study of that sort, which would look objectively at what's happening within education as it relates to CHC. My next quick quotation is: an MP doth not a minister, a cabinet minister make. We find that a lot of these MPs who go into the House are happy to be made cabinet ministers, particularly in this government, this administration that seem to just reimagine the cabinet and add more and more and junior ministers and all of that. And MPs do not make have good ministers. Some of them are what you call it, um, square pegs in round holes. And this should allow the technocrats, the excellent public servants, to advise, give oversight, and guide them in the interest of the public purse and in the interest of policies and programs and the public. And my last tongue in cheek remark, when the new Minister of Housing and Lands was interviewed, he said that he is bringing transparency to housing that portfolio. And my facetious comment to myself, and I answered it to myself, um, wasn't there transparency under the last minister, the minister who resigned? Wasn't there transparency? What can we extrapolate from that remark that he seeks to bring transparency to the ministry? I do hope that other persons will seek to bring transparency to their existing ministries. And I speak particularly of the the Ministry of Education and being a good diplomat, serving at the highest diplomatic post and posting overseas does not a good minister of education make. Thank you.